I wanted to say a few words about the school shootings. There's been a lot said about false flags and medication and video games and all of that, but I wanted to today shed some depth psychological light or insight onto the phenomenon which has now basically gone global. Um, as we speak, also locally here, the schools are searching the kids as they go in because of school shooting threats and violence, other violence against schools. Locally, there was a school that was set on fire last night, and in the report, what you see is that very much the violence is directed toward the school itself. So more like not only like the steel or something. So next to the false flags and all of that, which is definitely part of all of this, I wanted to talk about very shortly that, and it links up with um, it links up with the volcanic eruptions and the floodings and the earth phenomena because we were, as you have been following my work, the Jungian work very much lends itself to understand the earth as the collective unconscious, if you wish. So, in very short, the volcanic eruptions and the floodings are the erupting out of the unconscious, the cesspool part of the unconscious, everything that has been repressed and hidden. And obviously, a lot of these compensations from the shadow are being mimicked by certain forces. Um, like people would talk about harp and people would talk about blue beam and all of that, and trying to make these end time compensations of the shadow look like staged. And yes, a lot of them are staged, like the fires. I think the fires are staged to hide the true compensations of the shadow that is erupting out. And we need to see, in short, the school shootings a little bit in these terms because um, I give you a little example. If you're going somewhere and you're being abused and bullied and mentally abused, like today, I saw my own child going to school and having to learn that America was discovered and stuff like that, and being bullied, the bullying is not looked at, and the schools are we need to see how the schools themselves abuse the children with the exams. We have spoken a lot about how the exams, the constant testing is a form of mind control. It creates a child that will tomorrow only look outside of itself for if it's okay. The locus of evaluation that is in its of itself the biggest form of mind control there is. So the school shootings next to the ones that are staged are also these kids that have pent up all of this abuse and this treatment where they have no true rights and privacy. Schools must look at themselves now and see what the impact is on the mind of the child. So a lot of these children go back to the crime site to where their pent up anger is exploded out. This is what the volcanic eruptions mean. This is what the floodings mean, and this will happen more and more often. We need to not just look at the laws and now create some kind of a military situation at schools where the children are surveyed and all of that. Also, we need to find out where it's coming from and why. There's a trend towards much more real psychology in criminal behavior. It's not enough to punish or to create laws. So we need to now look at these children that are coming back there and are erupting out on these schools because that's where they have achieved a lot of abuse. This is the gist of it. This is like when the child comes home and is acting out aggressive behavior. It's because they where they were, they have had to palate abuse, and then they bring it out somewhere else. This is the same with the schools. We need to look not only at false flags, but also, yes, there's a lot of programming involved in these false flags, but a lot of it is building on the abuse that these children are made to uh, inflict upon, to take upon themselves, and have no way to digest it and to process it. The society needs to look at this. The schools are off. The schools need to change. These shootings are also a alarm, a trumpet for the schools to look at themselves. We cannot keep these old mind control practices, and this is what the eruptions are, the volcanic eruptions, the collective unconscious, which is our own shadow, is erupting out on us. And we need to now listen and become reflective and look at ourselves to see what we are doing. It's not that I've said it, the oceans are not sick because we are making them sick alone. They reflect, they're dying because we are dying. We are not dying because they are dying. We need to shift perspective to a inside out perspective to see that what is around us is a reflection of in us. I've also been false flagged on the Facebook because I was showing that the war between Iran and the US is based on an inner war between two poles that have not been reconciled within, and then are acted out via projection on the other. And many politicians in the States have also started to talk about projection. Projection is the way to see the inside, the psychological aspects. If we don't see that, there's no amount of laws or guns or punishments or anything that is going to stop the shadow, the pent up shadow, from erupting. Thank you for your attention.